Hello. I'll check to see if I am live. Hope you're doing well today. Thanks for joining in the Wellness Journal, live or in the replay. Yeah, I'm in. Cool. All right. So today I want to talk about cultivating yin energy, cultivating relaxation in your life and bringing it forth, valuing it, and making it a priority. If you're already thinking, well, I'm relaxing all the time, I'm even feeling lazy. Well, let's take a look more at that and really decide if that's the case. Once we've had a deeper dive into what rest is and how we sit within that space. I'll share my screen. I made some slides. And it's like a little side note. I'm using a standing desk right now. I've been noticing my shoulders have been hunching at my sitting area, and I wanted to rest my back and my shoulders, so I stood up. I needed to make a little setup, but it was pretty easy. I had a few things laying around that I could stack up on one another, and it worked. I've been sitting at my desk now for an hour or so, and then I took a break and sat down, and now I'm back up again. And okay, I've shared my screen and now I want to present it. So if you're sitting often, you may choose to figure out how you're going to stand or switch your movements as well throughout your day. It's relevant to our chat. Resting doesn't necessarily mean sitting. Okay. Or laying. Okay. So cultivated yin energy. Yeah. I think that's what I wanted to write. Not exactly, but I'm not going to spend my time worrying about it. If I could have written it again, I might have written cultivate yin energy. Doesn't matter. No. What a beautiful image. These slithering snakes, slithering and sneaking into our life. The black snake is the yin snake, and the white snake is the yang snake, bright and dark. Notice the difference of the way those two colors sort of make you feel, what they evoke for you. So let's start by defining rest. I literally looked this up in the dictionary, and the definition was to cease work or movement in order to relax, sleep, or recover strength. So, yeah, right? Like if we're needing to cease work and our work is on a computer, then we would need to close down our computer. If our work is on the phone, then we would need to step away from the phone, or at the very least, turn off the ringer, or be strict with yourself in terms of whether or not you're going to continue to check work-specific messages in your free time. The other day, I had a work message, as I often do on my phone. I use my phone a lot for my work, and I must have gone ahead and read a message for work, and then I didn't put it in my workbook, my planner, and then I missed that meeting. So there you go. Lesson learned. I will no longer be checking work messages unless I am fully engaged in a work moment. And of course, there will be times when I will make an exception, but those will be exceptions. And then when it comes to movement, here's sort of what I was thinking with regards to getting up and standing, sometimes it's the lack of movement that we need to cease. So if we've been sitting at a desk for long periods of time, I'm really speaking about like hours, guys. Like we're at our desk for hours sometimes, and not just for one day, but often many days in a row. It's not 1 hour, it's not 2 hours. Sometimes it's the whole day. And then we come home and we feel the need to then lounge again. And this is not ceasing the lack of movement. This is just engaging in more of that. So, on the other hand, if you do move a lot for your work or in your active free time life, then possibly finding ways to move slower or less would be better for you. And that's the thing as well. It might not be fully stopping any movement, but becoming more aware of the pace at which you're moving and how many things you are doing in the one moment, trying to do at the same time. I am notorious for brushing my teeth while doing many other things. And I'm not sure that my teeth have been brushed properly in a while or are brushed properly while I'm doing that. Maybe you can relate. I laugh, but it's it's these little moments of multitasking that really do not feel relaxing. And something as simple as brushing your teeth is a moment of self-care. And am I valuing that moment and really taking the time to care for myself? So ceasing work or movement to relax, sleep, or recover strength. So sleep, right? Like, are we still thinking about work when we're trying to sleep, and or our social life, or something that happened in the past or something that will happen the next day? How are we able to cease this, right? Like that's tricky. So do we attempt to go straight from an engaging activity, like say watching a scary movie, or even a funny or exciting movie or TV show, or a heightened conversation, heated conversation, and then attempt to go straight to bed? Or like, what is helping us to wind down? It's not sleep is not a switch that we can just turn on. So we need to cease this unrested activity before we attempt to go to sleep, possibly an hour or half an hour, maybe even more, maybe less. You'll see. Play with that, right? And recover strength. So this is similar to the movement one. If we've been sitting for long periods of time, it might be that we actually need to then move our body and get some of that energy flowing so that we don't feel stiff and weak and tired throughout the body and the mind. On the other hand, if we have been running around from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m., legitimately, do we need to then come home and unwind and rest our body? And what position would that be exactly, right? Like, is it just like hunched over on the couch, or slumped, in an uncomfortable position with our hand in our phone? Maybe we need to come home and actually give ourselves a moment to slowly stretch. It could be something as simple as a 10-minute yin yoga video online, or maybe even just some deeper breaths. Slowing down our breath, fueling our brain and our body with fresh oxygen. Possibly we didn't have a chance to do that all day from running around and moving more vigorously without very much awareness. So if you've been doing something for roughly 8 hours straight, you would need to literally stop and change what you're doing and you may have to be strict with yourself. It may be a little bit of reparenting here. If you are a parent and your children come home from school, and it's natural nowadays. We want to come home, we want to go on the computer, we want to zone out or do our thing. Um, and we would probably tell our child to go outside and play, or go, didn't you ask for that toy? Aren't you going to use it? So in which ways are you able to sort of parent yourself and deeply care for yourself in the same ways that you might a child, and hold yourself accountable to that without being unkind or inflexible, but just really recognizing in which ways that you can make these changes in your life so that you can get more rest, quality rest. Yeah, not just rest, but quality rest. There's a difference there. Okay. My goal was to not have my face blocking my words. We'll see how I did today. Kind of, that's why they're down more in this left corner. So hopefully you can see. So yeah, I have been looking at a screen for 8 hours. What would relax my eyes? Not looking at a screen for another 3 hours after you're done work. But I'm going to let you answer that question. I've posed questions today that I want you to answer so that you can find autonomy in the ways that you would like to find rest, right? So what would relax my eyes? Ask yourself that question. What would relax my eyes? If you're like, I don't know what it even feels like to relax my eyes, close them. Notice how they feel. Try to soften the muscles. Maybe looking a little left and right or up and down. The eyes may feel strained and tired. So it may feel uncomfortable to notice how they feel. All right. I've been sitting all day at my desk. What can I do to recover strength? If you need to get on your bike after work, go for a walk after a meal, go for a walk after work, or come home and stretch, or even just like literally, guys, like, a little bit of this. Okay. If someone at work says, "What are you doing? That's weird," I'll say, "Join me. It feels good." Maybe a few of these. I like these ones. Up and then forward fold. Up and then forward fold. Up and then again. Oh, that feels pretty good actually. I needed that. So my brain has been in focus mode. It is difficult to set work aside. I get it. I work from home. I own my own small business. I'm in school. It is difficult to turn all that off, and particularly difficult if I don't let myself ever stop. I don't give myself permission to stop, as if I haven't done enough. We only need to observe these in those moments. So engaging in playful activities and doing what you know and love. So, if the activity is easy, you've done it a million times, maybe it's a book that you love, maybe it's a route in which you walk on in a local park, or riding your bike. I mean, these are things that we know how to do. We know how to read. We know how to go for a walk and to ride our bike. It's not like we need to relearn these things. We can just pick them up and just do them. And they're easy for our mind to engage in, and it will help us to set work aside if we are fully present. So it may mean that you don't take your phone on your walk with you or on your bike ride. It may mean that the book is silly and frivolous and not important, not related to work. Most of my books are yoga related or wellness related. And while I enjoy them, it has that that mentality, just continuing all the time, thinking about the responsibilities of wellness work within myself and the information that I'd like to share to the community, etc. I need to take a break. It fills my cup and helps me to feel rested and restored so that when I come back to this information, I actually retain it better and I feel more capable of continuing on. Look at this picture, right? Of this dude. He is just getting smushed down. When I come back to this reparenting thing, I would think about the child. Like, would I insist that my child continue even more working, even if they've already been working for so long? Like, are we able to take a little bit more care for ourselves and just give ourselves a break every now and then? You know, we want a break. We say, I wish my boss would give me a break, but will you give yourself a break if you are your own boss, especially? So you could ask yourself some of these questions. Is your work and life very active and physically engaging? Right? So if it is, you can recognize that. You can take note of that. And do you take time to be still with no distractions? Like, I mean, no distractions, right? Like, you know, if we're watching a movie, even if we've decided that's going to be our relaxing activity, are we also looking at our phone? You know, it's okay to come home and watch TV if you'd like to, but just having that be like a limited amount of time and not letting it carry on throughout our entire evening, and not just our entire evening, but possibly throughout our entire week. Like, is that really an everyday occurrence, and is that the activity of choice? And then it becomes unenjoyable, and then you just go ahead and go back on your phone. So on the other hand, if you work from home, how often do you go outside? I work from home, and while I'm doing yoga, I'm moving, I'm on my desk, I'm chatting with people online, etc. You know, I'm feeling like my work is dynamic, but the other day I realized that I have not left home for like 3 days. So that's not good. And now I've made a deal with myself that I'm going to leave my house every day. I'm not just going to leave my house to go and do a chore. I'm going to leave my house to take care of myself, to get some fresh air, to look at the sky, to see daylight and then dusk or nighttime, right? And to allow my eyes to feel the difference of those times of days. Sometimes it is very difficult to sleep if we have not encountered daylight in a daytime. I do know that it's hot out now. So, for example, I got outside right away. I had breakfast and then I went for a little walk. Only a 5-minute one. I had the time. I made the time. So do you only go outside for a chore? Like, is it just like, okay, I've got to go outside. I'm going to rush around and get this done. And then I'll come straight back home because home is where I feel best and safe. Like, it might be challenging to get up and to get out. And it might not even feel that yin. So how can we go out and make it feel more yin? But I have no time. Oh, sure you do. I loved this picture because it was these fun looking friends here playing volleyball. I want to go do that with them for sure. But instead, what I do is I will sweep or wipe the counter half a dozen times per day just to kill time, just because I'm unable to focus at what I'm doing. And I'm now out of tune with what I even wanted to achieve. But I don't feel as though I have enough time to really do what I want. Uh, you know, whatever it is for you, wiping the counter down 4 times over, sweeping the floor multiple times per day or per week, like just, you know, that's not necessary. You can do one good sweep and just have that be it. Put the broom away, put the cloth down, go outside, go get your book, go get your knitting craft, whatever it might be, go sit down on your meditation cushion, you know. So, okay, well, here's where we could find some time. Excessive use of social media. I use social media for my work. And other than that, I would just rather not be on it, to be honest. And I find myself going on it even so, because it's so tempting, right? It's just so easy to unwind on social media. Maybe giving yourself a time limit with this will help you to find some extra time in your day. Having no to-do list, like what are you even spending your time doing, right? You really don't have time to meditate for 5 minutes or to pause and slow down to brush your teeth and only brush your teeth. Have a to-do list. Try to stick to your schedule, whatever it might be. Notice your priorities. And if you're unable to do your to-do list, reflect on how you spent that day and how you prioritized your activities. And if if once you've done that, you're like, well, I still had no time to rest. Well, okay. Is that sustainable? No time to rest ever? Having no routines. This comes to valuing rest, right? Like, do you value the concept of rest? We don't really. I spoke about this in the Yang Yin chat that we had last week. You know, it words come up like lazy or you know like I don't know, slow or whatever it might be, right? Like, can we take time to do our routines and to engage in rest and to make time for these routines and to say, like, I can stop what I'm doing now and take time for rest. And that is a part of my routine just as much as these tasks are. And I need to lean into that and make that okay. And we can cultivate that within our family and within our, our friend group or our work uh, relationships to encourage one another to say, hey, you want to take a break together? You want to go for a little walk after we finish lunch? That kind of thing. You want to eat lunch together in the park? I think, right? Bad sleeping habits. You know what they are. The phone next to the bed, going to bed late, eating in bed, just general things that don't belong in the bedroom. Recently, I have been, airplane mode my phone, and I have my book next to my bed. I usually get through about one page and then I pass out, which is just what I need. Like I've been reading the same page for a while now and trying to be a multitasker. We already went over it. Whatever you're trying to do all at the same time, you just don't need to do that. Just one thing at a time, guys. I know we there was a time when we were like, yeah, multitasking. Nope, not anymore. Okay. It's actually not more productive to multitask. It's been proven. Trust me. So here we are, but I don't know how to rest. Yeah, it's challenging. I know we haven't really learned. No one taught us. Everyone just shouted it at us when we were children. Go to the corner, go to bed, go outside, take rest. Like, you know, it was always a command. It was never, we didn't get a chance to enjoy it. It was always just another chore to do. So begin where you're at, like realize that this isn't really something that is um, taught to us, and that we may actually have to learn how to rest. So when was the last time that you practiced relaxing? And again, I'm not speaking about going on your phone. I know you did that already. I know you know how to do that. I know how to do that perfectly. I'm speaking about relaxing, closing your eyes, going for a slow walk, breathing deeply, listening to relaxing music, swaying your body, like rocking yourself as you might a baby. And then, do you value rest? Asking yourself, like, really, like, when I see someone napping in the middle of the day, or I heard that someone took the day off of work because they weren't feeling well, am I judgy in that? Like, is that a judgment there? And do I judge myself when I need a day off? Am I willing to allow myself to have a day off or to rest when I feel I need it? Can I trust myself to rest properly and to bring that into my life genuinely? Oh, this is the good one. This is the good part, guys. So it took me a minute to get this video on my thing. And it is literally a 20-second video. I think it just went 1 second in. It's literally 20 seconds. We're going to attempt to rest now for just 20 seconds. So I've been standing a while now. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to change my position. Let's do that. Place my computer over here. Grab a pillow. I'm going to sit down. Oh. I hope you're setting yourself up here and they're not just like, oh, this is scary. Why do we have to actually do it? Yes, we actually have to do it. This is what resting might be looking like in this moment. And if it isn't restful to you at all and you really don't enjoy this, pause. You might take time to reflect on why not. And I encourage you to explore what is going to help you feel rested and restored. All right, well, are we ready for our 20 seconds of rest? I wish I could put it back a couple of seconds, but we're just going to do a couple of extra seconds, okay? We begin now. Just close your eyes. That's all. Just breathe or leave them open if that's better for you in this moment. If you close your eyes, go ahead to open them, noticing how my window here actually took a break itself and did not complete the video. It went about halfway through, telling you it wants us to rest for longer than 20 seconds. So with that in mind, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to encourage you to step away from your computer now and go to do something relaxing. Have a great day. I'll see you on Friday for the 15-minute movement. I got a clock. So 15 minutes on the clock this Friday. Have a great day.